Welcome back to another episode from Justa 619, Justa San Diego Realty, another book review. Today, we will be reviewing one of the great books of our times and all time, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. When dealing with people, remember you are not dealing with creatures of logic, but with creatures of emotion. Dale Carnegie. And you know what? If you add alcohol to it, the emotion just is magnified. Okay, here we go. First chapter, part one. Fundamental techniques in handling people. If you want to gather honey, don't kick over the beehive. Avoid criticism, condemnation, or complaint. It wounds pride, arouses resentment, and rarely changes behavior. If you want to win someone over, don't make them feel bad. Criticism puts people on the defensive and makes them strive to justify themselves. For example, a foreman criticized a worker harshly for poor performance. The worker quit in resentment. Later, praising the same worker's strengths led to improved effort. People crave appreciation. Criticism lowers self esteem. Everyone wants to feel good, not bad. For example, Abraham Lincoln learned this after writing a scathing letter to a general during the Civil War, but never sent it, realizing it would only alienate the recipient. He has a general on the field and he needs the general. Yeah, I don't think he should send that letter. If I was a general and I received that letter, I'd be like, see ya. Instead of condemning, try to understand why people act the way they do. Try to take your biases out of the picture and put yourself in the other person's position. In real estate, I like to tell buyers, if you were selling the house, would the offer that you're suggesting as a buyer be reasonable? How would you take it? Chapter 2, The Big Secret of Dealing with People. Give honest and sincere appreciation. You have to be genuine. It satisfies the deepest human hunger for importance. Everyone wants to feel valuable. Flattery is insincere and easily detected. Don't be fake. Genuine appreciation comes from the heart. For example, Charles Schwab praised a steel mill worker for efficiency in front of others, motivating the entire shift without raising wages. People will go to great lengths for sincere praise. They become loyal if they know that you really care about them, genuinely. Focus on what people do right rather than wrong. We all make mistakes, but we also do things that are right and well. Try to focus on those more so than not. Next chapter. He who won, he who can do this has the whole world with him. Appeal to the other person's wants. Talk in terms of what they desire, not what you want. Get to know the other person and what they yearn for. Self interest drives action. Show how your idea benefits them. For example, a landlord convinced noisy tenants to quiet down by appealing to their desire to be good parents, not by demanding silence. Bait the hook to suit the fish. You don't want to use hook or the same bait for every situation. You're different than for me. A shark is different from a piranha. A whale is different from a dog. For example, instead of nagging a child to drink milk, a mother framed it as big boy fuel, make the child makes the child eager to drink it. I want to get big. You got to ask yourself, what is there in it for them? Next section of the book, 6 ways to make people like you. First chapter, do this and you'll be welcome anywhere. Become genuinely interested in other people. Try not to have an agenda. Oh, I got to do this so this person will do this. Be present in the conversation. People are more interested in themselves than you. Show curiosity about their lives. For example, a man at a dinner party asked the botanist about their work and listened intently. The botanist later called it the most fascinating conversation because of the engagement of the person. Talk about the other person's interest. Dogs are liked because they show enthusiastic interest. I know I have 2 dogs, and whenever I come home, it's like they never seen me before, and they want to just lick my face, they want to jump on me, and they show me so much love because it's genuine. Next chapter. A simple way to make good first impressions. Smile. It creates happiness in others and yourself. It's hard when you're walking down the street and somebody smiles at you and you don't become more pleasant in your demeanor. A smile says, I like you. You make me happy. For example, a telephone company trained operators to smile while speaking to customers. Customers reported friendlier service. And that's over the phone. You can't even see them. Actions speak louder than words. A smile brightens lives. Smile even when you don't feel like it to improve mood. I actually when I'm driving to work, I laugh. 5-minute laughter. I time myself and I just laugh, because it changes your mood. Psychologically, indirectly, directly, when I laugh, after I laugh, I just feel better, it triggers chemicals in our body, receptors, and smiling does the same thing. Next chapter. If you don't do this, you are headed for trouble. Remember and use a person's name. It's the sweetest sound to them. It's funny because my cousin, when we go out, he always told me take care of the bartenders, get to know them, the security guards. And so from then on, when I go out, I ask them for their name and I call them by their name and I remember their names. I even write it down in my notepad in my phone. And so I have reference to them. Try to associate their name with something that reminds me of them. And when I see them on a regular basis, they take care of me. I don't ask for it. I go get a drink, and I pull out my card, and they're like, no, it's good. Or they're just more pleasant to me. And people see this. But more than that, the person feels appreciated. And that goes a long way. Remembering a person's name. Wish that photographic memory. Name represents identity and importance. Mispronouncing or forgetting names causes resentment. Like you don't care. Like it's not important. They're not important. Repeat names in conversations to memorize them. I've heard repeat something 3 times to have it stick. Next chapter. An easy way to become a good conversationalist. Be a good listener. Encourage others to talk about themselves and their interests. People love talking about their experiences. Listening makes you popular. In relationships, I always hear, oh, they're a good listener as a positive thing. Don't interrupt or shift your stories. A funny thing, my one of my supervisors at work when I first started, I used to finish his sentences, and I appreciate this. And he pointed it out. And he was like, "Hey, like it's great that you're on the same page as me, but it's rude to interrupt. Let the other person finish their sentence. It's more respectful, and it shows that you care about what they're saying, that you want to listen to what they're saying, even though you might have an idea what they're saying. You don't have to finish it. It's very respectful to let people finish their sentences before you interrupt with whatever you have to say, because they'll show you the same courtesy. For example, a journalist won over a shy celebrity by asking questions and listening for hours. Don't interrupt or shift to your stories. Ask questions at least and let others shine. Next chapter, how to interest people. Talk in terms of the other person's interest. Find common ground in their passions. Pair by learning about their hobbies. Make the other person the star. Make them shine. Next chapter, how to make people like you instantly. Make the other person feel important and do it sincerely. You have to be genuine. It comes back to that. Everyone craves significance. Acknowledge it. For example, a hotel manager retains staff by thanking them personally for small efforts, opening the doors, being cleanly, great service. Use phrases like, I'm proud of you. I noticed that you. Sincere appreciation builds loyalty. They make they generally want to work harder for you because they know that you care. Next section, how to win people to your way of thinking. First chapter, you can't win an argument. The only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. Don't start it, don't finish it. Arguments produce resentment. Even winning loses goodwill. A salesperson lost a customer by proving him wrong about a minor fact. I in the relationship, this is so key between two people. It's small things, but if you try to emphasize it and focus on it, you have to think about how important is it. Even if I get my way, what's the outcome? So you have to think long term. And when you want to say something, before you say it, think about the circumstances and whether you win, what happens? What do you get out of it? Does it make the situation better? A lot of times, it's better to keep your mouth shut. It's really not worth it. It's more for internal reasons that we want to win an argument. It makes us feel better, but long term it doesn't really do anything. And long term actually it probably makes the situation worse. Welcome disagreement to diffuse tension. Be like, hey, agree to disagree. Say, I may be wrong. Let's examine facts if you want to keep it going. Next chapter, a sure way of making enemies and how to avoid it. Show respect for others' opinions. Never say you're wrong. Direct contradictions provoke defensiveness, and you want to avoid that. A debate club member alienated peers by bluntly correcting errors. You got to be suave with it. Might want to read one of those books that a person of significant influence might have written. I won't state any names, but I'll have that book later in another book review. So look for that. Begin with agreements. So you start on a good foot. Let others save face. You don't want to make others feel bad, especially in front of other people. Next chapter. If you're wrong, admit it. If wrong, admit it quickly and empathetically. Admission disarms criticism and builds trust. For example, a traffic officer let a speeder go after the driver admitted fault enthusiastically. Self-criticism is easier for others to accept. Be humble. Say, I was wrong. I'm sorry. You don't have to complicate things. Keep it simple. Next chapter, a drop of honey. Begin with a friendly way. Friendliness melts resistance. People are less defensive when someone's friendly. For example, a collector recovered debts by starting the conversation warmly, not with demands. Smile and use kind words first. Hostility begets hostility. If you're hostile, someone else is going to be hostile. If you notice in an argument, when someone starts getting louder, the other one gets louder, and parties start yelling at some point, and then the cops are called. Nah, just joking. Next chapter, the secret of Socrates. Get others to say yes through questions, not statements. Yes momentum builds agreement. A salesperson closed deals by asking questions that led customers to convince themselves. Avoid direct opposition. Start with areas of agreement. So this would be starting with a question that you know they'll say yes with. So you like shoes, huh? Yes, I do. And if you notice the shoes that they're wearing are, let's say, running shoes. So what about running shoes? Are you interested in running shoes? Yes, how'd you know? So building the yes become momentum, and psychologically, you'll end up asking a question, and they're more likely to say yes if they've been saying yes to your questions previously. Next chapter, the safety valve in handling complaints. Let others let the other person do most of the talking. Venting reduces anger. Don't interrupt with defenses. Empathy calms emotion. When people feel that you care and you understand and you're listening, they get more relaxed. And you want someone to be relaxed if you want them to agree with you. Next chapter, how to get cooperation. Let the other person feel the idea is theirs. People support what they create. For example, an interior decorator let a client design the plan, ensuring enthusiasm. Suggest indirectly. For example, a boss phrased a suggestion as the employee's own thought. Plant seeds and let them grow. You have to nurture it. You gotta be tactical. Next chapter. A formula that will work wonders for you. Appeal to nobler motives. Assume good intentions. People want to see themselves as honorable in a good light. Frame questions idealistically. Behave people's better nature. I'm sorry, believe in people's better nature. Let them prove you wrong. Next chapter, everybody wants. Be sympathetic with others' idea and desires. Say, I don't blame you for feeling that way. Try to understand their point of view. Empathy bridges gaps. See the other side. Try to take your biases out of the situation. Next chapter, an appeal that everybody likes. Appeal to pride and ideals. Titles and recognitions motivate. A company reduced errors by challenging departments to zero defects for prestige. Dramatize ideas. Fundraisers showed a starving child's photo to evoke sympathy and donations. Make virtues appealing. Next section. The movies do it. TV's does it. TV does it. Why don't you do it? Dramatize your ideas and make them vivid. You got to accentuate words, use tone and emotion, hand gestures. Show, don't just tell. Bring them into the situation. Be excited about what you're talking about. A salesperson smashed a product sample to prove durability, closing the sale. Use visuals and stories. Be engaging and engage emotions. Next section, when nothing else works, try this. Throw down a challenge to spur action. Competition motivates excellence and drives passion and enthusiasm and engagement. Make it fun and rewarding. Tap into desire to excel. Everyone, or most people, wants to do better. Next part, be a leader. How to change people without giving offense or arousing resentment. First part, if you must find fault, begin with praise. Begin with praising and honest appreciation. The sandwich often softens correction. A boss praise an employee punctually before suggesting better reports. It's funny, my supervisor, they do this all the time, and it's a great tactic. They're like, I really like the way you do this, and they go on about that. And then, can I ask you to do this a little bit? It's a great way because it takes your defenses down instead of right off the back, hey, can you do this right this way? You're a little bit more defensive. Next part, how to criticize and not be hated for it. Be criticism indirect. Call attention to mistakes indirectly. Use questions or suggestions. For example, what if we tried instead of you did it wrong? Talk about your own mistakes first. I did this time, so they feel they're not alone. Avoid direct blame. Next section, talk about your own mistakes first. Mention your own errors before criticizing others. Humility reduces defensiveness. Build rapport. Show fairness. Next part. No one likes to take orders. Ask questions instead of giving direct orders. Questions invite participation and their point of view, so they get more involved. How do you think we should handle this, for example? Instead of, do it this way. Preserves dignity, fosters ownership. They feel part of it. Next part. Let others say, let the other person save face. Protect others' pride even when correcting. Fire or demote privately and kindly. Praise past contributions. Timing matters. Wait until emotions cool. You don't always have to do everything right at the same time. You can break it apart sometimes. Next section. How to spur people on to success. Praise every improvement, no matter how small. Pep talks build confidence. Be specific and sincere. Make praise frequent but earned. Next part. Give a dog a good name. Give people a fine reputation to live up to. Expect the best. Praise people and they will raise up to it. Label positively. For example, calling a child helpful encourage them to be helpful behavior. Beliefs shape reality. Starts in the mind and then it comes to reality. Anything you do. Next part. Make the fault seem easy to correct. Encourage, make corrections seem simple. Say, you have this mastered in no time. For example, a typing instructor boosted speed by assuring students it would it was easy with practice. Use positive language. This is a minor tweak versus you're doing it all wrong. Build confidence in the other person. Sometimes you have to start off with small successes to work up to the bigger challenge. Next part. Making people glad to do what you want. Make others happy about doing what you suggest. Tie requests to their desires. Relate what you want and how they could benefit them. Be generous with credit. Show personal gains. Recognize their improvements and their successes. I hope you enjoyed this book review, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Thank you again for joining. See you next time. Keep grinding, believe in yourself.